Okay, I'm continuing my reading here, and what I'm doing in the series is read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I'm reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along. Now, I am starting the book of Leviticus. And many of the chapters, matter of fact, most of the chapters in Leviticus deal with the Levitical law or law of Moses, and therefore has a lot of sacrifices being described and things of that nature, which I will not be making a whole lot of comment on. So hopefully these videos will go a little faster and we'll get through them quickly. Here we go. Leviticus chapter 1. Sacrifices of animals without blemish made as an atonement for sins. Burnt offerings are a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation of the Lord, congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head and the fat in order upon the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water. And the priest shall burn all on the altar, to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep, or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar, and shall cut it into his pieces with his head and his fat. And the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering of the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar, and the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. So this is kind of a sin offering, an atonement made. So he's saying this is similar to us taking the sacrament. We're coming in to show our honest repentance for the week, taking the sacrament, renewing that covenant. This is kind of the same thing. They bring in the sacrifice, just as the priests and the teachers are the ones that bless and pass the sacrament. The priests are the ones that have to actually perform the ordinance of the sacrifice. But the people bring it in, the priests perform the sacrifice. I find it interesting with the bull, the sheep, or the goat. They cut it into pieces. They wash a part of it and burn all of it. But when it's a bird, you don't cut it into pieces. It does say you wring the head off, so there's that. But it's an interesting. So one thing that is most sacrifices you'll find have have different ways you can do them. And you'll see this is for those who, if I have a herd of cows, I can bring in a bull, make a sacrifice. If I've got a flock of sheep or a flock of goats, I can bring one in. If I don't own either one, I can buy one. That's perfectly fine. But say I don't have enough money to buy one. Well, then I can buy a turtle dove or a pigeon. So God is making provision for different circumstances in life to perform the. It's not just one specific way of making sacrifice. Now, it is a specific way of doing it, but there are 3 different animals that can be sacrificed, and it's somewhat different for each animal. It's actually 4: bull, sheep, goat, or the birds. So God makes provision for his people. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.